Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have a big update about negotiations with Iran and where things are headed and whether or not a peaceful solution will be reached or if there will be some kind of military strike on the Iranian regime and their facilities. It is a significant update. We're going to break all of that down and more. I'd like to note the beard is still coming in very nicely. I'm proud with it. How it looks, let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe. As always, hit the bell so you know when there's a new video coming. Comment with your thoughts below on how you want to see President Trump handle Iran, a potential war in the Middle East, whatever thoughts you guys have. I love reading them. Now, let's get into it. As viewers of the channel know, the United States is deep in negotiations with Iran to reach a diplomatic solution over the country's nuclear program and its attempts, or the believed attempts, to weaponize enriched uranium in order to get a nuke, which would obviously be very bad for the region, be very bad for our allies in the region, and it would set off a chain of other events that would have consequences as well. So the United States has looked at this as we have two options. We can either strike them and take out their facilities, or we can reach a deal that means that there will not be a war in the Middle East. The Israelis have a little bit of a different view of the situation. They want to go all in on a military option, but as we've discussed at length here with all of you guys, the Israelis lack the ability to bomb and completely take out all of Iran's facilities because they do not have the bombs necessary to hit deep under mountains. You need the 30,000-pound GBU-57, which can be dropped from a B-2 stealth bomber. Israel has neither the bomb nor the planes in order to do it, which would mean the United States would be running the show. President Trump doesn't want to do that. He's been pretty clear. The goal here is a diplomatic solution. The best outcome here is a peace deal, but he has military deterrence on the table as well, because you can't have good diplomacy in a situation like this if you don't have the credible threat of military action. So now we have the Iranians have come out very publicly with what their stance is on a potential war with the United States, reaching some kind of deal with the United States to make sure that there is not another massive conflict in the Middle East. So I'm going to go ahead right now, throw this up on the screen. This is a report from Fox News. It says Iranian President Mossad, I honestly don't know, Pezeshkian spoke over the weekend reiterating Iran's commitment to dialogue and desire for a civilian nuclear program. The Iranian leader addressed Navy officials in Bandar Abbas, discussing the ongoing negotiations for a deal with the United States. He says, "We are not seeking war. We favor negotiation and dialogue, but we are not afraid of threats either, and we will in no way retreat from our legal rights." It continues, compared to previous Iranian presidents, Pezeshkian has emerged as a more level-headed and reformist leader aiming to reach new understandings with the West, according to Politico. The United States and Iran have completed 4 rounds of indirect negotiations regarding Iran's nuclear program, though the public has received mixed messages on the path forward. While officials from Washington and Tehran have expressed optimism about conversations, a number of technical details have yet to be discussed, including the specifics surrounding uranium enrichment and stockpiles. It says Iran is insisting they will continue to enrich uranium for civilian and research purposes, while the Trump administration is calling for all enrichment to end. Right now, Iran is enriching uranium up to 60% purity, well beyond the confines of the 2015 nuclear deal that President Trump withdrew from 2018. This is a big point here. Over the weekend, Iranian Foreign Minister Saeed Abbas Araghchi commented on the current situation, saying that Iran has received no written proposal from the United States about an agreement. He's quoted, "Mark my words, there is no scenario in which Iran abandoned its hard-earned right to enrich for peaceful purposes, a right afforded to all other NPT signatories too." So that's where Iran is on this situation. They are essentially also saying that they want peace. They do not want a war. They want to reach a diplomatic solution on this program, but it gets a little bit more complex than that. Let's get into that right now. So while some Iranian diplomats are doing their best to reach some kind of deal with the United States, the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, he went on Twitter over the weekend, or X, or whatever we're calling it now. He went on X over the weekend and launched a blistering attack against Trump, against the United States. I'll go ahead and throw this up on the screen for you right here, saying Trump said he wants to use power for peace. He's lying. Some of the remarks made during the U.S. president's trip to the region aren't even worth the response at all. The level of those remarks is so low that they are a source of shame for the American nation. He then also hopped on X. I got it in front of me right now. Due to the determination of nations in the region, the U.S. must and will leave West Asia. The dangerous, deadly, cancerous tumor in West Asia must and will be eliminated. It's just, he hopped on X and went on a rambling, rant, throwing a tantrum. So we have different rhetoric coming from different people within the Iranian regime. It is important to remember that a lot of what Khamenei does is all for show. He is putting this on for his people. He knows damn well that the United States, in a direct military conflict, would absolutely wipe the floor when it comes to facing Iranian forces. This is a performance. It's a bit of an act. He's been this way forever. He talks tough, rarely does anything. It is just who he is. We need to understand that. But the question now is, what comes next? Where does the United States go from here in its negotiations with Iran? What is the likely outcome? Let's get into that right now. So the question now is, where does the United States go from here when it comes to dealing with the Iranians as we attempt to pursue a peace deal amid different narratives, different kind of dialogue going on? All of that, you got to wrap all of that up, analyze it, break it down. I am still supremely confident that the United States is going to reach some kind of a peace deal with Iran. Trump and his simple nature of who he is he hates war. He thinks war is bad for business. He thinks it's bad for the economy. He thinks it's bad for the American people. He doesn't want anything to do with war. He is the president of peace. That's how he's marketed himself. That's how he went on the campaign trail. This is a man who has no interest in getting us in another Middle Eastern war, which is what he crushed his predecessors for. And so far, he has avoided to start a serious military engagement while also using the military when necessary, like against ISIS, or to take out Soleimani, who was the second most powerful, by some estimates, man in Iran. So that's where President Trump stands. President Donald Trump does not want to see war. And because the United States is in the driver's seat, we are setting the terms, we are setting the conditions, we're running the show essentially. He gets the biggest vote. He gets the biggest share of power, if you will. If this was like a pie chart, he would have the most influence. As long as Trump in the United States and the people around him, Steve Witkoff, etc., as long as they stay committed to the idea that we can reach a peaceful resolution, I do not think you will see bombs falling from the sky, taking out Iranian facilities. Now, if Iran does not agree to something, or they drag this out indefinitely, or they are, it's proven that they're lying, or whatever it might be, you can make up any list of things, then I don't doubt for a second President Trump will use the military. Right now, I've had it at 70, 80. I still think we're at 85% chance for a peace deal. Let me know in the comments what you think when it comes to what odds of a peace deal are. I just don't see how this could go backwards far enough for the United States to end up getting in a war with Iran or bombing their facilities, whatever it might be. All signs indicate a peaceful resolution is going to be reached. I know Khamenei's spouting off on Twitter, but again, this is the same movie we've seen before. We've seen him do this song and dance. It's not anything new. That's where I put it. I put us at an 85% chance for peace. Of course, things could still go sideways. You just don't know. It's a fluid situation. Things can change rapidly, but that's where I see it. We also cannot allow any other country to force our hand or encourage us to do something we don't want to do. We are the one with the most powerful military. It'll be our mission if it has to be done, taking out Iran's facilities and the program. I just don't see that happening right now. There's just not enough evidence to suggest war is imminent. In fact, the evidence suggests the exact opposite. So that's where I would put it. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you think the United States should strike Iran or reach a peace deal. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about how my beard's coming in. And as always, I'll see y'all next time.